Hey, this is Leon Poe, man. You listening to Causeway Street Podcast.
What's up, y'all? This is Kenny Anderson. Y'all listen to the Causeway Street Podcast.
For all you new listeners out there, I'm your host, Josue Pavone. I'm joined as usual by my two co-hosts.
I'm Sean Dutra. What's up?
Yeah, like talk about
walks
yourself.
On the B.
There you go. Joel Pavone. What up?
I'm a Pisces. The most romantic.
It leads off with that.
The most romantic sign in all the zodiac.
Oh,
If you couldn't tell by my voice already.
oh,
Sexy.
But I'm the producer of this ensemble that we call Causeway Street. In case you missed it.
Hey, Bill Walton here, Celtics 1986. You're listening to the Causeway Street Podcast. Yeah, come here for nothing but the truth. This is where dreams come true. Thank you, Boston, for my life.
where are we going?
You guys are such homers.
It's your boy Terry Rozier. You're listening to the Causeway Street Podcast. Now listen to my boys Joe, Sway, Joel, and Sean.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hey, this is a classic beat. Classic beat. For a classic episode, Causeway Street Podcast, the 100th
100!
episode. 100 episode, fellas.
What up?
Hey.
We made it. We're here. We made it. 100 episode.
Happy birthday.
It's not our fucking birthday, guys. Guys, it's not our birthday.
Oh, it's 100.
No. We haven't been around for 100 years. We've only been around for 4.
100 episode birthday.
The song doesn't fit. Sean.
Hey,
The song doesn't fit.
All right, you know what? That cake in the fridge. Let's go back then, dude. All right, you guys go
Wait, did you
cakeless
get a
after
cake?
this episode.
Oh, man. Sean got a cake. It says Causeway Street on it.
Oh, yeah, that strip is about to come out the cake. It's like,
How's your girl feel about that?
well,
Oh man, we're celebrating over here. We have tons of things to celebrate. Not only because it's our 100th episode, but
Good
we
morning.
have Antoine Walker joining us in a few minutes. So this is a huge episode for us, guys.
Yo,
And
we're
he
celebrating.
heard. He's like, wait, what? Your 100th episode of Causeway Street? Fuck yeah, come on.
He's like, yo, that's my favorite podcast. I gotta get on there.
yeah, man.
Join these fellas.
I you know what?
Good morning.
Antoine's a knowledgeable dude about basketball too, and
Of course,
think?
man.
I can't wait to ask him some questions
you
about
know what
the old school Celtics.
You know what else
days, too.
Antoine is, man? He's a very opinionated guy. So we're gonna get plenty of
I
great
heard it.
sound bites
Oh,
out
he
of this
He
conversation.
doesn't hold back.
I heard he's
No,
got some
hold
beef.
Some beef.
Some 100-year-old beef.
Oh man, you gotta ask him about
Happy birthday.
it. It's not 100 years, Sean.
My man.
We haven't been around for 100
My man.
years.
I'm not going to repeat it again. It's not our birthday.
All right, well, let's figure this out.
And if it was, that'd be, I don't know how we still be alive.
Well, I think if you had 100 years of podcast,
You should probably.
I mean,
you should
I'm
probably
not-
hang it up.
Like,
man.
I don't know how long.
probably.
I don't know how
probably
long
good.
we're
You're probably good.
gonna be around.
I think
like
you-
in terms of this podcast and us as human beings.
Yo,
But
we could get to
100
100 years.
No, I mean,
No. Put it this way: if we
I don't
get,
know if I want to get to 100 years. To be
Now,
honest.
with
No,
the
no, no, not-
advancements of medical
No.
technology nowadays, you could get to 100 years.
no, if we get to 1,000 episodes and we're still in this format, you know,
Still coming over to
Think-
my house and shit.
I think it's time to hang it up.
we talking about, man. The Causeway Street Studios. What are you
We're
talking
gonna-
I mean, you come over to Causeway Street
I mean,
Studios.
I know you live here, but this is still a
We're
Causeway
gonna
Street
come
Studios.
over to the Causeway Street Studios with our 25-year-old kids.
like it's, you just bring Tums.
It's still recording.
They're like, Dad, can we borrow the car? Like, yeah, just drop me off. Just come back and come back in like 3 hours.
You know when we get together to record, it takes about 7 hours now because people gotta pee.
Okay, here we go. Everyone puts their glasses on. Yep.
And I'm like,
So the Celtics are
Sound check.
coming in.
1, 2,
They're
3,
coming in.
4.
They're coming into the 2045
So
season.
what do you think about legalizing flubber? I can't believe Adam Silver the 12th decided
Oh man! All right.
to give
I can't-
everybody wings.
I can't believe LeBron James is still playing. Like, what the fuck? When
Andy-
that motherfucker gonna retire?
And he still got hair.
Oh my god, more hair than I do.
Sean,
Well, you know what I tell about hair.
all right. Before Antoine Walker changes his mind,
They're
and doesn't want
breakthrough.
to talk to us
They're
anymore.
breakthrough in Viagra.
Let's get this episode started. 100th episode, Causeway Street Podcast.
Good morning. That's gonna be
And
my
this
phrase for the day.
100th episode is, of course, powered by our good friends at FanDuel, guys. It's time for fantasy football, and the best place to go for that is FanDuel. Head over to FanDuel.com/Causeway. Get yourself signed up. Win some cash. And you can switch up your team every single week. If you haven't already, I don't know what the hell you're waiting for. Head over to FanDuel.com/Causeway.
I did not do good last week.
And, yeah, you didn't.
But
And you can get yourself signed up. And you can beat Sean because he's not that good.
I
You heard it here
failed
first.
I
If you
failed
haven't signed up already.
I failed awful in the listener league, but my other league, I won 15 buckarooskies, which is not that bad, but it actually buys in all of my winnings this week, and I plan on tripling and doubling all my money this week because in FanDuel, it's just as easy as picking the right guys, man. That's it.
And you know what? If you mess up like Sean did, there's always week 2, there's always week 3, and so on and so forth. So, guys, head over to FanDuel.com/Causeway. Get yourself signed up. Play against Sean and I. And you're probably gonna lose against me, but maybe you can beat Sean.
I mean, I finished in
Maybe.
like 185th place, and I think Sway was like 7,014.
That's not true at all. Inaccurate.
Probably accurate, but just know that Sway still has David Johnson on his roster for week 2, so we'll see how that goes. So you can beat him.
That was last year. Shut up, Sean. Anyways, all right. So without further ado, let's bring in our special guest of our 100th episode of Causeway Street Podcast. He was the former captain of the Boston Celtics, 3-time All-Star. He's also the co-host of the Southside Podcast. And honestly, man, he's one of my favorite Celtics players growing up, man. He is Antoine Walker. What's up, Toine? Welcome to Causeway Street.
Man, thanks for having me on, man. Doing good.
Absolutely, man. Thanks for taking the time, man. We appreciate it. So, Toine, in light of the Isaiah Thomas trade, of course, the biggest story around here the last, month now, which is, obviously sparked this debate. And it was a debate that we got into here a week ago about how this is hypocrisy going on when we're talking about, players leaving their teams as opposed to organizations trading. Like I said, we got into it last week. They
Got a little heated.
They got a little heated. Just leave it at that. But what's your take on this quote unquote double standard? Do you think that it exists in the NBA? Do you think that when a player like Kevin Durant leaves his team for Golden State Warriors, there's an uproar? But when Isaiah Thomas gets traded, there wasn't much of a backlash from Celtics fans in terms of people calling Danny Ainge a traitor.
I think every situation is very unique. For me, it's tough. I'm an old school guy, so just to break down a couple of scenarios. I look at the Kevin Durant scenario, and I put that on Kevin Durant. Me as a competitor, I could never join a team that beat me. I was up 3-1. I'm playing alongside arguably another top 5 guy. We're building something. We've built this organization from the ground up, and just leave to go join a team that has 3 other All-Stars, that have been to 2 NBA finals, that has an NBA championship, that has a 2-time MVP. It makes it very hard for me to join that team. I want to compete against that team and see if we can knock them off. So I was disappointed in Kevin Durant. I still don't understand why he did it. Obviously, he got a ring this year. He played great. But just from a competitive standpoint, I still don't like it just because he joined a team that in the finals, it seemed like the way he played, they needed him. And it doesn't seem like they could get past Cleveland again without him. But at that time and at that situation, I just didn't think it was the right move for basketball. I thought it was taking a lot of competitive edge away, especially in the Western Conference, when you go play with a team that's already stacked like that. And he's arguably the second or best player in this league. So I didn't like that situation. That was totally, that was just me and my take on it. He did a terrific job and playing with them to be very efficient on the court, to be able to fit in. A lot of guys wouldn't be able to fit in that type of situation. And obviously we know how magnificent he played in the finals. The Isaiah Thomas situation, and I mentioned this on my own podcast, that, I felt like I think Isaiah Thomas was probably so upset is because I've been in that situation with Danny Ainge, and I know the type of person that he is. It'll be hard pressed for me to believe that Danny Ainge didn't make Isaiah Thomas feel like that they were building something, that they were going to add a piece in Gordon Hayward, and that they were going to try to get past Cleveland. So I think I know, how Danny Ainge is operated, and I know how some of these GMs are, and it's tough. I mean, because you give your heart and soul and your loyalty to a team, and you feel like you're building something. And Isaiah Thomas, the last 2 years, has came into his own. And with the tragedy that he went through last year, to still play, you got to give this guy a lot of credit. That has to speak volumes sometimes. sometimes it can't just be about wins and losses. You got to, sometimes have some loyalty to guys that seem like they have a loyalty to the organization. Nobody would have been mad, I don't think, if he would have decided that he didn't want to play in the first round of the playoffs, but instead he came and he fought through it. And maybe he did it for his own personal therapy, but, that has to speak volumes. And I've been in Boston, and Boston fans, they're loyal. They respect that. They appreciate that. They appreciate hard work. And I can understand why Isaiah Thomas was upset and went to the Players Tribute. I took out an article in the paper the newspaper back when I got traded in 2003.
Oh yeah, I remember
just to thank the fans. So right. It's tough, and I think sometimes it's I know it's tough love in sports, and I know organizations have to make moves at certain times because you look at Carmelo Anthony and what he's going through right now, and I feel bad for Melo. He doesn't even make the cover of the media guides and stuff. They don't even put him on there. We talking about a guy who's Mr. Olympian, big time All-Star. Can arguably be considered one of the top 50 players to play this game, and so it's tough. It's a tough, but with Isaiah Thomas' situation, I know how he felt in that situation because you give your heart and soul to a team and organization, and you feel like you're building something there. I look back at 2003, me and Paul were just starting to make the playoffs. Obviously, in 2003, we got swept by the New Jersey Nets, but we didn't have a real true point guard. We needed to add a couple pieces there. I think me and Paul were building a great duo. We had 4 or 5 years where we were right behind Shaq and Kobe and scoring in the league. You think you're building something. The patience now in the league is totally different.
Yeah, man. Looking back at the Isaiah Thomas stuff, and we definitely want to hear about your dealings with Danny Ainge a little bit, but I got a question for you. So put yourself in the GM shoes. Like for me, looking at this Isaiah Thomas trade, obviously we're Celtics fans from Boston. Love Isaiah Thomas. Gave his heart and soul, like you said, dedicated to Boston. But put yourselves in the GM shoes. With a guy like Kyrie Irving, if you had to make that deal and you were the GM, would you have made that deal, or do you think the Celtics gave up too much?
I would have made the deal. And it's a couple of reasons why I would have made the deal. The first thing is that I'm getting a chance to add a guy who's 25 years old, who's won an NBA title, who's arguably top 3-point guard in this league. He's a guy that has a lot of heart, and he's a finisher. Right. Isaiah Thomas, no offense to Isaiah Thomas, he's got the heart of a lion. It's going to be very difficult to win an NBA title with Isaiah Thomas and his size. It's just not a lot of plays you can run for him late in games. It's going to be difficult for him to get his shot off. Where Kyrie Irving is totally different. I think you can't continue to draft. I think those draft picks are used for value, and they used, obviously, they had a value draft pick in 2018. So I think that you had to eventually, you're going to have to get some superstars in there. I don't think Gordon Hayward is a A-list superstar. I think he's a B-list superstar. I don't put him in the category with a Kawhi Leonard or Jimmy Butler. I don't put him in that type of category. I do put him as a B-list star who's going to be a great complementary piece to a team. But now you add Kyrie Irving, who's got the potential to be a one guy. Now you got something going there where you can put those two guys together, and then you got Al Horford. And I love the two young guys he's decided to keep. Actually, 3. I love Marcus Smart. I love Jason Tatum. I love Jaylen Brown. I think those guys are great pieces to what you're trying to build. So I think they're headed in the right direction. I love the trade to get Morris, but I hate giving up Avery Bradley too. So it's tough. But if you got an opportunity to get a guy like Kyrie Irving at 25 years old, now fellas, let's also keep this in mind. Isaiah Thomas hip is not 100%. We don't know how he's going to come back.
It's the mystery hip, man. It's the mystery hip. You don't know.
So at that time, and what they're trying to do with LeBron James, and you got to think about this, with LeBron James, and it's looking like he's not going to stay in Cleveland, I think it's the right move at the time because now that puts you back in the driver's seat probably in the Eastern Conference. So, it may sound like I'm kind of contradicting myself, but I'm not.
No, we know exactly what you mean. That's the debate we got into last week. That's exactly what you were saying.
I don't want to seem like that, but I believe that if I was a GM, I would have made that move, and I would have made it in a heartbeat.
Right. Yeah, that's what we got into last week, that the double standard still exists, but we still, all three of us agree that we wouldn't have made the deal regardless.
Yep, so there ain't no double standard. I don't know. So.
No, there is a double standard. There is a double standard. All right, well,
Toine. It is because, because I know Boston fans and you guys, it's tough because you see a guy give his heart and soul to you. You see this guy who's made himself into a great point guard in this league, and he's built something. You got great chemistry. You win 53 games with him. You win the Eastern Conference. You have the number one seed. It's tough to make those moves, and he was a centerpiece in that situation. So it makes it tough. But when you got a chance to get a 25-year-old guy that you can see, and then with LeBron James being in question mark and not knowing what he's going to do, and it's looking like he's leaning towards leaving, you got to make that move because you're possibly talking about 1 year you could pretty much be on top of the Eastern Conference.
All right, well, Toine, to piggyback on that topic of players leaving their teams and free agency and, the whole conversation about the double standard, Ray Allen recently spoke out about the event that led to him eventually leaving Boston for Miami. He said, and I quote, he realized they weren't doing him any favors, and as far as giving me any protections or guarantees of what was going on moving forward. Now, Ainge has gone on record in the past to say that Allen was, in fact, offered the no-trade clause. Allen says that, he didn't get into specifics.
And more money. But
he said that the Celtics, they made themselves look good in a situation, and that's simply not true. Now, of course, you've had a relationship with Ainge. You said what you said on your podcast, like you said earlier. Is it possible Ainge did the same thing to Allen that he may have done to you or Thomas? Is that a possibility, you think?
It's a strong possibility. I think a lot of people don't understand. I got traded, which is fine. That comes with the business. After trading me and coming back in 2005, and we win the division. Obviously, we got upset. We was the third seed by the Indiana Pacers. I was told by Danny Ainge that he was going to try to make – he was going to – he told me, hey, don't beat me up in free agency, but I want you to be a part of this. We're building something here. And the first day of free agency, my agent told me Danny Ainge offered me no money.
Wow.
I know and the people understand that. So I didn't get anything offered. So my situation was totally different. So when it got down, if anybody knows, it took me a whole month to sign. I think I signed in like August. And I was a part of the biggest sign and trade deal in NBA history. I think still to this day, 13 players. And I had to do that. I had to call the owner. I had to reach out to the owner and tell the owner.
Sign and trade, right?
Yeah, I had to call the owner and reach out to him and let him know that, hey, I've done a lot for this organization. I know you guys can you guys do a sign and trade for me? And they were willing to do that. They kind of they trumped Danny Ainge and said, hey, listen, we're going to do it for you. We just don't want to take a lot of money back in return. So my agent was able to pull off a huge trade at that time. So I know that could possibly happen. I know how that happens, and I understand the business part of it. But sometimes you got to have a little loyalty, or you can not say anything. But Danny Ainge is a hands-on GM. I think he's around the players a lot. I'm not 100% sure. I'm not around this group right now, but I'm sure he's around the players a lot. If he's in there, you're talking to guys and you're building a relationship with guys. There's certain things, the business part has to be left between the agent and Danny Ainge, and you just have to, it's tough, but you got to leave it alone at times. And I think Danny Ainge has spoken out. I think that's why you see certain guys. Obviously you see Isaiah Thomas speaking out and wanting to thank the fans and wanting to tell his story on how the situation went down because he felt the team was bagging him and that he was going to be a Celtic for a long time.
What did you think about Allen leaving? Do you think that was a trader move? Do you think that was just him doing him? What's your take on that?
It's tough. I think Allen saw a situation. If you got to think about it, at the point of Allen's career, it's kind of, he wants to play for championships. He's coming off a championship run with Paul and Kevin, and he's got an opportunity to go join LeBron and D-Wade and play a role over there. I think it was that type of situation. It seemed like they had a little bad blood, between Kevin and Ray. Between Kevin and Paul. It seemed like they had a little bad blood, but I think it was purely to try to win a championship. I think he was in the point in his career where he didn't want to go play for a team just to play. He wanted to go play for a championship.
Don't you think it was kind of similar to what Durant did? Going to the team that just beat him.
Question. You know what's crazy? He's been in those battles.
Yeah,
right.
He's been in those battles with those guys. You would think he'll want to stay with them. So I look at it as being something a little bit more personal. Maybe they had kind of grew old of each other. You got to remember they make a good run like that, and people don't understand when you're in the NBA and you're able to build good camaraderie with a team and friendships. Those things are special. They last a lifetime. But obviously, it was a disconnect somewhere in between there, and you could tell from the guys. And I think, obviously, if you really look at it, the best situation for him to win the NBA title was to go to the Miami Heat.
Yeah, I feel like there was some sort of, like you said, some sort of disconnect between him and the rest of the guys because it seemed like Pierce, and Doc too. Pierce, Garnett,
about Rondo too, man.
Rondo, I'm just going to get to that. I feel like all three of those guys had a much closer bond, as weird as that sounds, because of course Allen was obviously who he was. He was, above Rondo in the depth chart. But at that time, Rondo was starting to become Rondo. I mean, when they won the championship, Rondo wasn't quite Rondo yet. But I feel like, I don't know, maybe it was a sour relationship between him and the rest of those guys after the way they took Rondo under his wing. The speculation that there was, he didn't like the relationship that Doc and Rondo had put together. They had built a strong bond. And
Bradley too.
Yeah, Avery Bradley became a starter over Ray. I mean, it's a lot of things that could have happened, I feel like.
Yeah, and you never know how Doc and Ray Allen relationship was too. I mean, so it could play. It was a lot of things that factored into that. I mean, like I said, I'm old school, and me and Ray came in together in '96, and I'm a competitive guy. I like to compete. I mean, I'd rather be with my guys and let's compete and get it on and see if we can beat them. I don't think you join the teams to see it, make it easier on yourself. I want to compete and go against them.
Yo, so that's a great point, too, because, I mean, right now, one of my biggest pet peeves in the NBA is this AAU mentality. When everyone's joining up with their buddies who they grew up with or whatever. The biggest stars in the NBA.
They don't want to beat each other.
They want to play with the biggest stars now,
right.
Which is one of the, the NBA, I think, is at a point right now where it's very fun to watch. But that's my biggest pet peeve. So tell us a little bit about that. Like, when did you see that shift happening? And my feeling on this, I think it's all LeBron James' fault. But I don't know. You tell me. You tell me.
I'm with you guys. I mean, I just kind of follow. I follow the league, and I'm a fan. I cover the league. I cover these guys. I know a lot of these guys personally. I'm not sure where this came from, where they just want to be buddy and play with each other and all this stuff. I don't know where this come from. I come from an era where when I came in the league, Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, and it was that era where those guys were still involved in the game and competing. You were trying to beat them.
Right.
Right. So it's different. I'm not sure. It's making for the game not to be as good. I mean, like right now, let's just talk. Everybody has Golden State and Cleveland in the finals.
That's it.
For the
fourth
straight year.
And everybody knew last year it was going to be Cleveland and Golden State.
Yeah. Why even play the season?
We saw Cleveland. We saw Cleveland the last 7 games did not care because they knew that they were going to get out the East, whether they were a 2 seed, 3 seed, or 4 seed.
No.
So that doesn't make for competitive basketball. It makes for, it makes the fans think, well, we'll just wait to the end and see Cleveland, Golden State, and hopefully give us a good series.
I agree. I mean, I think ESPN's pretty happy about it because they're like, oh, we got all these stars in one game, but I mean, people are going to get sick of that pretty soon, man. Yeah. If this keeps happening, if it's Cleveland and Golden State every year, people are just going to start tuning out, which I think is really bad for the NBA.
Not only that, but you have these primetime games on ABC and TNT and ESPN that key players are sitting out because the coaches want them to rest up.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's
it's getting, and just to add, so let's get to the point now, like you guys said, but I mean, it makes for regular season not to be exciting. It makes for some of these marquee matchups not to be even worth watching. And the ratings are going to go down. And I think the league will do some about addressing that. But, as long as free agency, the money's at an all-time high, which I'm excited about. Players are starting to get their just due of compensation. So it's always good to see that. But I don't know what this group is about. This competitive aspect of going against each other is went away. And it's unfortunate. Hopefully we can regain that and get guys to want to be with their team for a while and want to see if they can beat the best. And, so I don't know if it's going to change for a while. I think, we're going to see LeBron James is going to be this free agent class of 2018 is going to be crazy.
Yeah.
What these guys end up at.
Seriously.
And like you just said, LeBron James, who you said the guy that started this, has an opportunity. He's going to be the guy to finish it seems like too. Because I'm sure
right.
he's going to have a unique opportunity to see if he's going to stay in Cleveland or is he going to go to LA and be a part of all that legacy that they already got set up in LA.
Yep.
All right, Toine. I'd be remiss if I didn't, take it back for a little bit, talk about your days, in Boston. It's funny because back in the mid-90s, man, when I first started watching the Celtics, like right after Larry Bird retired, it was hard to find a Celtics highlight on national TV, let alone an all-star in the all-star game. And so for me, you were the first Celtics player I saw in an all-star game. Years later, Paul Pierce came along, of course. You guys had that incredible unexpected playoff run in 2002. The greatest moment of that run, and I'm sure I'm not the only one that's, agrees. I'm sure everyone agrees with me when I say this, was the Game 3 Eastern Conference Finals comeback game against the New Jersey Nets. My question to you, Toine, is what the hell did you say to the team before the fourth quarter in that huddle, man? This is a podcast, Twan. You don't have to keep it clean, man. We swear all the time, man.
No, the series was one. The series was 1-1. We did a good job going up there. We were getting blown out the building, and I just felt like Paul wasn't playing to the level that he was capable of playing on. And I told him, I said, it's time for you to take it to the next level. I told him, if we don't win this game, we have to at least fight, and we have to put up some type of fight. And I challenged Paul, who was our leading scorer at the time. He was our aggressor. He was the one that had a major mismatch. They couldn't guard him. And I put some pressure on him. I told him I need him to step up. I told him he needed to take the game to the next level. And he responded like never before. But that was one of the, if not, that's obviously one of my top 3 games I've ever been a part of. One of the best feelings. And just to be in that building, we used to call the Fleet Center the jungle.
The jungle.
Yeah. They still play that song.
Welcome to the jungle.
Not go nowhere.
Yep.
Yeah.
To see the fans not go nowhere and to be able to be a part of that and that history come back in the fourth quarter was one of the great things. But honestly, I just told them it was really based on let's just compete so we can have a chance to be in this series. So they don't think they can just run over us. Because we did a good job. We went up there and stole one game.
Did you think you had a chance in that game, being down, what,
20?
No.
I'm not going to lie. No. I just wanted to make it respectable.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just didn't want to get blown out the building. And next thing you know, we got to chipping away. And Paul got to be in the Paul Pierce that we know, being aggressive, going to the basket, and just taking off from there. So it was a great thing to be a part of, but just more or less challenging Paul. And to take this game over and to be the player we know he could be.
I just remember the looks on their faces, man. Because, I mean, at halftime, Kenny and Martin, they were just laughing and having a good old time, I
was just a lot of F-bombs. I dropped a lot of
That's what I want to hear. There you go. I figured.
I dropped a ton of F-bombs.
We sort of saw that, when we were watching the camera. We were
I'm not gonna lie.
Let's keep it 100.
I dropped a ton of F-bombs.
Let's keep it 100, man. Antoine was like, yo, these motherfuckers are laughing at us. You the truth. Get out there.
Even the NBC broadcast they were talking about something completely different.
Yeah, they weren't even talking about the game.
You guys are cutting away at the lead. They're like, oh, and now it's a 10-point lead. Like, oh my god, we have to actually pay attention to this game again. And I just that fourth quarter was one of the amazing fourth quarters I've ever seen.
Man.
I've ever seen.
If Mike Breen,
unbelievable to be a part of. I'm one of them, the best. I'm saying one of my top 3 games at least in my NBA career. I can always take that with me, and it's always well talked about. And we still got the record. That's the biggest comeback ever in the fourth quarter. So I got something to hold my head on.
There we go.
Man, if Mike Breen was using that line back then, he would have been saying it like 10 times. That Paul Pierce knocking down shots. Bang. Back to back. Bang. All right, so speaking of favorite memories, what's your favorite Celtics memory?
Honestly, you know what? My favorite Celtics memory, it was getting drafted by the Celtics. To realize, and you don't really feel it when you first get drafted, but when you actually fly into Boston, when I came in there, like my workout was Larry Bird, Dennis Johnson, Casey Jones, ML Carr, Tommy Heinsohn, Dave Cowell. You got to think about it. When I walk in there and those guys are in there, that goes crazy.
Yeah, that was amazing, man. Because you came along, like I said, a year later, boom, in the All-Star game. That was something I wasn't used to seeing a Celtics player in the All-Star game in those years when I first started watching the Celtics.
Yeah, I got lucky. Rick Pitino came, so I got my college coach back.
Yeah, right.
I know he's gonna let me do my thing.
Gave you the green light, huh?
Speaking of that season, talk about your relationship with Michael Jordan. I feel like that gets overlooked during your playing career, especially your early years while he was still in the league. How was that? The Chicago connection and.
Well, it was kind of crazy. Obviously, I played against Michael, knew him, but never knew him on a personal level. We hung out. And in 2001, I get a phone call from Michael Jordan. I was like, holy shit. Like, oh, wow. And
it's got to be a prank call, right?
Yeah. He was like, hey, I need you in the gym with me. He said, I'm thinking about making a comeback. So I changed my whole summer plans. I'm like, Michael Jordan wants me to work out with him.
Drop what you're doing.
So I changed my whole life. So it was one of the best experiences of my life. So the next 6 years, from 2001 to 2007, I got a unique opportunity to be around Michael on a daily basis and to watch his work ethic, to watch him at the age 39, 40 years old, the work he puts in to be the best player to ever play the game was amazing. the friendships, the toughness, the competitive juices that I learned from him, the everyday pickup, being in the gym with him and him telling me, I never won shit. You'll never be nothing. You need to win a title.
Oh.
Having individual skills is not everything. You got to win. So just stuff like that was always resonated with me. And I was able to get me a title in '06 and be in that same conversation as an NBA champion. So I just learned so much from him, just as far as work ethic and how to prepare yourself, how to be a pro. So those are days I will never take back. But just being a competitor, being competitive all the time, wanting to win all the time, instilling that in my blood, I always remember Michael for that.
Did he hit you up after the Heat won the championship in '06?
Oh yeah, I still was hanging with him. Yeah. Oh yeah, I got my chance to talk shit then.
Right. I was gonna say you
haven't won since '98, man. What's up?
I had to hear for so many. I had to hear for so long that I never won anything. I used to be like, I'm a college champion. He'd be like, you ain't an NBA champion. So just to finally get one and be on that plateau, and obviously, he was very apologetic and told me congratulations, and so that was a great highlight of my life. But from '01 to '06, just being around Michael on a daily basis was tremendous and a big highlight for me in my career.
Well, speaking of that championship, with D Wade and with Shaq, like how was it winning that title that year?
That year was special. I mean, we had a slogan that year called 15 Strong. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that. But we had these things. We had a thing called 15 Strong. One of the closest teams I ever been a part of. We necessarily didn't have like a world beater season where we won 65 games. I think it was a 2 seed. I think we won like 52 games, but we were very close. We had a ton of fun off the court. To be honest with you, we knew we were getting to the finals. I can't tell you that we knew we was going to win the NBA championship, but we knew we were going to get to the NBA finals. We knew we was going to have a chance to win one. That was never a doubt in our mind. We didn't always show it through the season, but once playoffs came, we focused in, locked in, and we rode the wave. We rode D-Wade, Flash. We rode his back. We saw one of the best epic final performances by anybody that ever played a game. I mean, his final performance goes underlooked because of what we've seen LeBron do and obviously what Kevin Durant did. But Dwayne Wade final is up there with those guys. It was epic. It was unbelievable to be a part of, to see how he played and how we worked. But the best team I've ever been on as far as team, on and off the court, I mean, it was a rare chance that you would not see 6, 7, 8 guys at dinner on the road together.
Wow.
We just were very close. It was something I will always remember for the rest of my life. It was one of the biggest things to be a part of, to be able to bring a championship to not necessarily a basketball city. We all know what Miami's known for, and that wasn't necessarily known for NBA championships, and to bring one there. And then for me personally, to play alongside Shaquille O'Neal, Alonzo Mourning, Gary Payton, Hall of Famers, guys that I have much respect for, that I grew friendship with, James Posey and obviously D Wade and then Jay Will, White Chocolate. Just those relationships and being close with those guys and being around them. It was just an unbelievable experience for me in my life. So it's something that goes, always in my memory bank, and I always love sharing stories and talking about it because it was just such a great time and playing for the legendary Pat Riley. It was just great.
Yeah, there was a lot of gritty vets. I was about to mention that, but you already did. A lot of veterans. I feel like that was an underrated team in terms of champions in the last 10 to 15 years. Yeah. The '06 Heat. That was a good run. I enjoyed watching you guys, especially
since the Celtics sucked that year, dude.
Antoine, you winning a championship. That was great.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, thank you, man. I appreciate it. But that was one of the epic. That was one of the most epic teams I've ever been on, and people would never understand.
So I know you just talked about a couple Hall of Famers you played with on that Miami team. So hop on topic in the NBA right now. T-Mac just got inducted into the Basketball Hall of Fame. Mm-hmm. How do you feel about that? And I personally think, I think he's fine to get in the Hall of Fame. He led the league in scoring a couple years, but how do you feel about that? Is T-Mac in that class of Hall of Fame NBA players?
I think he deserves to make it. I think his numbers speak for itself. I think it opened the door for a lot of other guys that possibly should be in or could get in. I think about Grant Hill. Obviously, we know he had some injuries towards the end of his career, but, I mean, at one point in Grant Hill's career, he was considered the second best player in the league behind Michael Jordan. Then you also got to think about Penny Hardaway. I think about Penny Hardaway, and if he's going to make it, it's Chris Webber going to make it. It's just so many guys that kind of now that you open the door for those guys to make it.
True.
Because Tracy never won a championship, we know he had some great years scoring the basketball. So he's opened the doors that we're going to reward guys that have great individual years for multiple years. Now we're going to reward those guys with being Hall of Fame guys without having the NBA championships, without playing in the meaningful playoff game. So we'll see some guys come up because right now, the Chris Pauls of the world who's never played in the in the Western Conference Finals, you got that guy coming up. You got a Carmelo Anthony who's never been played in that level. You know what I mean? So you got the guys that haven't played those games, but they have the individual accolades to be very good and well-deserved. So well-deserved by Tracy. Great individual talent. I enjoyed his days, especially in Houston when it was him and Yao Ming. I thought they was a great tandem. So well-deserved, but I think he opened the doors for a lot of other guys to finally make it.
Like you, Toine, when are you getting there, man? When are you getting the call, man? You're up there. You got the championship, bro. Come on.
I think my numbers are good enough to make it, but I think I didn't leave the game the right way. Taking a buyout, didn't get back in, having some trouble off the court, DUI at the end, having to go through my bankruptcy and all that. I just think people put you in a certain light, and it kind of rubs the voters the wrong way. They kind of look for all the perfect stories, so you don't really kind of see those guys. Guys like myself, we kind of get left out of that situation. But one thing I can say, I'm in the Chicagoland Hall of Fame. I'm in the Hall of Fame at the University of Kentucky.
There you go.
I got an NCAA championship. I got an NBA championship.
There we go.
I'm very happy with my NBA career. I was able to play 13 years. I was able to make a ton of money. So those things I could never take away. The NBA has been great for me. So Hall of Fame, you can't get everything. You can't have everything in life. So, but I think the way I left the game was not good enough for me to be considered in the Hall of Fame. But my numbers are strong enough.
Yeah, they're up there. They're up there, bro. That's what I mean.
I'm in the middle of the pack with the rest of them.
Yeah. Right, hey, if they start opening the door, slide right in there, man. Hey, but you know what? Maybe the Celtics Hall of Fame someday, man. You never know.
Hey, Toine.
Yeah.
What are the chances we can see you back on the court, man? You got the Ice Cube Big 3 League. I seen some video of you shooting around. I saw you, man.
Actually, I want to play in the Big 3 after watching it this year. I think I could play in a 3-on-3. I like the fact that it's half court. It was going to take a while. It'll take me working out hard all winter to get back in some basketball shape. I wouldn't want to play and get hurt, but it's something that I'm thinking about. I have been back working out, no basketball related, just starting to run and things like that, putting my body back in there. But it's something I'm really thinking about. I think Cube is actually going to be very successful in this league. I think sponsorship dollars are going to pick up. You're going to start to see more people get behind this league because of the summertime. I think people like to see basketball through the summer. It's not a lot on TV in the summertime besides baseball, and the WNBA. So I think people will start to like it. I think you'll start to get some bigger names playing in it, and I think it's going to be a good league. I think it's good. I don't think it's overkill. I think when you think about it, half court, games to 50. Right. I think guys are playing very competitive. As you saw, if you watched that league all the way, guys got in better shape as the league went on.
And it was very competitive too. Yeah, you know what?
That was the best part.
It's like when you used to play those, back in the day, you play those pickup games in the summertime. By the end of the league, everybody's in great shape. That's when it gets gets good.
I don't know. I'm not going to tell. I honestly, guys, I don't know how you get in or how you get in touch with Cube. Is it a tryout? But all I could do is try to put myself in some decent shape come, March, May. Right around that.
If you want to get in the league, I think they got a position for you in the league, man. I mean, Deshaun Stevenson was like the best player, dude. You're much better than that.
But I can play in the league. I can shoot the 3. I can post up. Half court would be good for me.
Done.
So it'll be good. But it is like it's on my bucket list.
There we go.
Okay.
But it's up there, to get back in there.
We'll look out for that.
So who would be your teammates? Who would you call up if you?
You know what? I got an appearance. I got an appeirance with Paul.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Team back up.
And I'm gonna talk. I'm gonna talk to Paul about if those guys are gonna play, who he knows is gonna play. If those guys are gonna play in this league, I'm definitely trying to get in there.
So nice. I take it you and Paul Pierce still keep in contact, still Still good friends?
Not as much as we should be. But
Okay.
we are still friends. We obviously follow each other on social media. Obviously I did some stuff for him when they were trying to do some tribute to him and with the Clippers, and I'm pretty sure I may get a phone call when they put his number in the Raptors in Boston. But huge fan, supporting him 110%. We spent 8 years together, so you don't just throw those years away.
Hell yeah! So I take it. So we are gonna see you make an appearance when Paul Pierce gets his number retired here in Boston.
That'd be dope, man. See you two together.
100%.
Hell yeah.
Whether I'm involved in the ceremony or if I'm just there to show praise to a guy who had a great career.
Nice.
You heard it here first.
The people want to
Causeway
see
Street
you.
Podcast.
Yeah.
You heard it here first. Antoine Walker gonna be in the building in next February. That's what's up.
100% I'll be in the building. You don't have to worry about that.
That's what's
Hey,
up.
we'll have to get you on a live broadcast. Then you have to come in the studio, man. We'll talk to you then.
Oh yeah, without question. I like that, man. I'm trying to jump.
Let's
I'm
do it.
jumping in you guys. I'm jumping in you guys' space now, man. I love the podcast. I love to be able to love talking the game and everything. So definitely, we got to make this a relationship. Help each other out.
Yeah, man. That's what's
definitely.
up, Toine. Yeah. So the Southside Heat Podcast. Before we get you out of here, man, talk about that. How did that come about with you and your Clement?
My co-worker Clement Townsend, we both work together at 120 Sports. It's now called a stadium, and we always argue. It's just like probably you guys sit around. We argue all the time about
Pretty much
sports.
what we do here.
Right.
Yeah, so we argue and we just got to talking, and I was like, you know what? Let's try to do a podcast. We was like, you know what? Let's buy some equipment and let's try to see if we can do it and push it. And we just been working hard trying to get it out there. We got there kind of late in the season, so we don't have 100 episodes like you guys. We're still in the 20s, so we're behind you guys. But we get
You'll get there, man. Just keep trying, man.
Yeah, it took us 4 years to get to 100, man. So it's not like
See, don't tell him that, man. You're not supposed to tell him that. You have to tell him all that.
Yeah, so we're gonna try to get this thing going, and hopefully this season coming up, we're coming out from day one. We're gonna be all over it. Actually, we're gonna film something tomorrow. We're gonna actually take something tomorrow, just to kind of keep people relevant. That Southside Heat is still going, and it's gonna be something that's gonna continue on for as long as we can keep it going, because I love having a voice. I love being able to talk about the game and talk about things that's going on. I feel like I have a perspective. I think I've been around the game long enough. And
Absolutely.
Clementine, we argue all the time, so we try to feed off each other and we can argue on air.
Yeah, man, it's a great podcast. I checked out a couple. I didn't even know you had a podcast until I heard you talking about Danny Ainge, and I was like, "Wait, Twan's got a podcast?" I gotta listen to that, dude.
Yeah, so we try to. I mean,
Southside Heat, right? Southside Heat.
Yeah,
there we go.
And also the Southside Heat name come from. We're both from the Southside Chicago.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
So it's real simple where we came up with that from. We're both from the Southside Chicago.
There you go. So, final question for you, Twan. I gotta know this. I've been wondering about this my entire life.
Entire life, damn.
Where did you come up with the Walker Wiggle?
Hey.
You know what? It's crazy. I don't know if you guys saw a lot of my college footage, but I used to dance in college all the time.
Yeah.
So when I dunked the ball, I was used to do a little shoulder shake and all that.
Little shimmy.
And then it just
Yeah,
became
Walker used
natural.
to dunk a lot. You used to dunk a lot back in college. I remember that.
Yeah, I used to be on top of the press, so used to get rewarded with those steals and be around the basket and stuff. So it just came out natural, and it's just something that I kind of picked up. And when I first started doing it, some coaches don't really like you to, to show out. They look at that showboat.
Right.
Yeah,
But Jim O'Brien let me go and
There
let me do it. So I kind of did that. I'm really mad that Steph Curry's trying to do it. I really want to.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, right?
Because I got different variations of it.
Yeah,
So
man.
they don't know it. It's just certain times of games, certain times of situations, you bring it out. But yeah, it's something I started, and it's funny. Everybody knows me from it, so it's something that I'm proud of.
It's your signature. It's your signature.
My favorite
Definitely.
thing growing up watching basketball is like, watch, he's gonna hit this three. The Wiggle's coming, dude. The Walker Wiggle's coming.
Because you know he's feeling it.
Oh,
You know
yeah,
he's
it's
feeling it.
Once you had a couple baskets, I was like, next one, bang, Wiggle, boom.
Yo, Twan, my favorite one that I could think of, Game 5, 0-2 against the Philadelphia 76ers, man. You did a mean one. I remember that.
Oh yeah, hey,
That game was crazy.
I think Larry Brown still pissed at me about it.
Good.
He was eating.
Yeah, I know exactly the one you're talking about.
Yeah.
I think he's still pissed at me about that.
Oh, man. Antoine, we can't thank you enough, man. We appreciate you coming through, man. On our 100th episode, man. We appreciate you coming through, Kristen.
Thank you, man. Thanks for having me on the 100th episode, man. Good luck to you guys, man. Make sure you have me on again.
Yeah,
Absolutely. We'll talk, man.
We'll do.
Season's gonna start up. We have a lot to talk about.
Oh, season's gonna be crazy.
We'll have you back on for some predictions,
All
and we'll talk. We'll talk about the season coming up.
Yeah, man. Good looks.
All right, fellas.
All right, man.
I remember a lot of those Wiggles when Tommy would go nuts.
Yeah.
Tommy would go nuts.
It's the Wiggle.
Antoine Walker checking in with Causeway Street for the 100th episode. Guys, make sure you check out his podcast as well, man. Southside Heat Podcast. He's on there with his co-host, Clement Townsend.
It's pretty good. He's honest as he was today.
Man, that was fun, man.
Yeah,
I think even more so.
Road.
More so. Like, Twan's a cool dude.
Yeah.
I can't wait for him to come back on here, man. That was really good.
I don't think that surprised any of us, did it? That he was a cool dude?
I thought he would be an asshole.
Really?
I was just kidding. No, man. I don't fucking know, dude. What the fuck do I know?
You were pretty convincing there, man. I looked at you. I was like, wait, what? I didn't expect that at all. What are you talking about?
Nah, man. Twan's a dude, man. I talked to him before, and he was like, yeah, I'll fucking come on. It's like,
fuck yeah.
Done.
Yeah. Sean reached out to him, man. That was a good look.
Looking for a good future partnership.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially when you come to town to go see Paul Pierce's number get retired. That's going to be fun.
Breaking news.
Oh, did that happen here in Causeway?
A little bit.
That an exclusive?
I feel like we missed some stuff.
All right, let's get into it. What we missed, Joel?
Yeah, what did we miss?
In case you missed it.
100 episodes. I don't think we missed much.
Well, Antoine Walker, after he left the Celtics, he went to the Miami Heat. No, in case you missed it.
If you didn't know, the biggest sign and trade ever.
I got an update on Charles Oakley, folks.
Oh, we haven't talked about Oak in a while, man.
Yeah, man. The former Knicks forward, he was involved in an altercation back in February.
I remember it fondly.
Well, apparently now filed a civil suit stemming from the ejection and the arrest.
I was going to say injection. What happened?
And the arrest from the nationally televised game when the Knicks took on the Clippers. It is unknown if the Knicks owner James Dolan or anybody from Madison Square Garden will be the subject of the suit. But as Sean mentioned, I reported
he's suing somebody.
He's suing somebody. But
somebody's gonna pay.
I reported about a month ago that the NYPD charged Oak with 3 counts of assault plus a criminal trespassing charge. And while Oakley did accept a plea bargain last month that all charges would be dropped as long as the former NBA vet wasn't arrested for a period of 6 months, and he also had to stay away from Madison Square Garden for a year, Dolan speculated that Oakley, on the night in question, was under the influence of alcohol when Oak was tossed from MSG in the middle of the first quarter. I don't know why I forgot that, but I felt like it was like in the middle of...
It was mad early.
It was...
like the game. People still get into their seats.
Yeah. Some people just can't hold it. Like, oh shit, is that Oakley? Like, what the fuck?
Who the fuck is this guy screaming out? Oh, is that Oakley?
Yeah, no, Oakley, he told the New York Daily that MSG security personnel were the instigators that night. And I quote, "I was there for literally 4 minutes," said Oakley. "I didn't say anything to him. I swear on my mother. They came over and wanted to know why I was sitting where I was sitting."
Well, if he swears on his mother,
yeah, he's not
if
lying,
he swears
man.
on his mother, this is the God's honest truth.
Yeah,
he continues by saying, "I bought a ticket. I said, why you guys keep staring at me? And then they asked me to leave. And I said, I'm not leaving." End quote.
Boom.
So,
you know what? I've gone back and forth with this. And for a while, I was thinking, you know what? Yeah, he was probably drunk. But now that I think about it, maybe he was just buzzed. Maybe they just assumed that he was trashed. He probably had a couple drinks, but he wasn't,
He was probably trash. He wasn't trash, but he was definitely drunk. I mean,
I don't think.
Yeah, but I don't think he was like belligerent.
I don't think when he bought the ticket, he was like, "Oh, this is near where James Dolan sits." Does anybody believe that?
I don't think that was the case at all. The question is how drunk was he and how aggressive was he?
But first of all, why is Oakley buying a ticket? Like, why isn't he allowed to go to Madison Square Garden? Like like Jojo White here at the Celtics. I don't think he buys a ticket. He kind of just walks. He's like, "Oh, I want to see this game tonight." Then let him right in.
He didn't bring that championship home, man.
No, man.
That's championship status right there.
Bite him in the ass at some point. Well, we'll see how that ends. In case you missed it, Kobe Bryant will not only have his jersey retired on December 8th when the Lakers take on the Warriors, but both of his numbers, 8 and number 24, will go up to the rafters at the Staples Center.
Oh, man, really?
He wore both jerseys.
Is it going to be like a split screen?
I don't know how the fuck they're going to do it, but
split screen.
Like a little split box.
Which one do they pull up first? 8?
Probably 8 because that was the first one he wore. But he wore both.
Like, get ready for this, folks. One other number going in the rafters tonight as well. It's still Kobe Bryant.
If I had to guess it, I think they both are just going to simultaneously go up at the same time.
I hope I don't.
Don't put money on that?
No, I don't.
Come on, man.
Come on. Let's put a little friendly wager, huh? Joel's not a betting man. Put a gun to his head, man.
Still going to be simultaneously raised.
Yeah, I'll take that bet. They both go up. Split screen. I'm going split screen.
Wait. So
I got that bet. Split screen.
This is the real question.
It's not fucking Sega Genesis.
This is the real question. Would you rather 8 Kobe Bryant or 24 Kobe Bryant?
Well, let me get into some of his stats from both jerseys, and then you can make a better decision.
I already know my decision.
Well, he wore both jerseys for 10 seasons each. With his number 8 jersey, he won 3 rings with Shaq, was an 8-time All-Star, first team All-NBA 4 times. With his number 24 jersey, he won 2 rings, 10-time All-Star, 2 Finals MVP, and 1 League MVP. Who are you going with?
I'm still taking number 8, bro.
Really?
I'm still doing it, man. Yeah, I don't care. I mean,
You thought number 8 Kobe was better than number 24 Kobe?
You got to go 24
No.
because he didn't have Shaq for those rings, man.
Yo, I don't care.
He was putting those numbers up. Yo, he was putting numbers up with those horrible teams where Smush Parker was his point guard.
I would take Kobe 8.
Fucking
number
smush.
8 Kobe.
Smush.
I would take number 8 Kobe. Number 8 Kobe was a better player than number 24 Kobe. He was. He was more explosive. He was just. Maybe he was young. Maybe he was a little mature. But I mean, I don't care, man. That the talent he showed as 8 Kobe to me was what made him Kobe. And then 24 Kobe.
He had the post-up game with number 24.
I know he became old man Jordan, man. But I
Yeah,
mean, still
exactly.
like young Kobe was. That was Kobe.
Young Kobe shot 3 straight air balls in the playoffs.
That's okay. Come on, man.
Yeah, that was like his.
Yeah.
He was like a teenager.
It
Still
was
when
like
he did that.
he was like 19 years old when he did that.
Still.
Listen.
I'm young Kobe all the way.
No, 24 Kobe knocked off the big 3 and pretty much came back to the throne of the NBA after those rough years, man. I give him props, man. After this, again, his point guard was Smush Parker, man.
He would only have won.
Smush
He would only have
Parker,
won 1 championship. Oh, he would have won no
But he
championships
never
as
left.
24.
If LeBron James had Smush Parker as his point guard,
Oh, he'd be out
yeah, Smush.
mid-year.
Who else on that team?
I'm still taking number 8.
No, who am I forgetting? I'm forgetting another chump. Let me look it up.
Another
Smush
what?
Parker.
Another chump on that team.
Well, Lamar Odom was there all
Chucky
the time.
Atkins, Chris Mim.
Yeah,
He played with some studs.
Both of those guys both play for the Celtics. So
Yeah.
wait,
Fucking,
hold on. Who am I forgetting here?
what's that? Like the 04, 05 team?
Yeah, no,
06 team.
06.
He did score 81 points with number 8. I'll give you that.
Yeah, man. I just feel like Kobe with number 8.
But then again, he beat the Toronto Raptors.
But
So,
at the same time, like he was
he
Kobe.
He beat Jalen Rose. Jalen Rose was guarding him.
Kobe was he was one of the most transcendent talents as number 8, and then I think like he became.
Well, he was the dunk champions number 8. Yeah, you're right.
You know what? No, I just, dude, number 8 Kobe was better. Like with the throw and everything too.
Like that dunk contest was so bad they stopped doing it for the next 3 years.
He was if he didn't have Shaq on his team, if he wasn't the second fiddle to Shaq, which obviously, as a young guy, you're going to be second fiddle to the best center ever to come into the NBA, right? If he didn't have,
I don't know. I think Kareem Abdul-Jabbar might have something to say about that.
no, I'm just saying. Okay. Well, he would have made Allen Iverson look like nothing if he had a squad. If you switch places, he probably could have beaten the Lakers. If you switch Allen Iverson and Kobe Bryant could have taken that Philly team and beaten the Lakers that year. That's how good I think he was.
Jordan Farmar. That's him.
As
Oh,
a
that's
rookie.
right.
Jordan
As a rookie.
Farmar, dude. Kwame Brown.
Yeah, those teams.
That trade for Pau Gasol pretty much put them back in the forefront in the Western Conference. But you can say Kobe carried that team though. You can't say that Pau had that much of an influence. I mean, he obviously had an impact.
Powell had
but-
a big influence.
I still think
had
he was.
an
I still think
influence,
he
but-
was the MVP in the 2010.
Right. It wasn't like 1A, 1B type of impact. It was like he was the clear cut number 1 guy, and Pau Gasol was a contributor.
Garnett and Perk don't get injured though. Kobe's got no rings as 24.
No, because they would have beat. He would have beat Orlando.
No, because Garnett
would
Oh,
have been
'cause of
healthy.
09, gotcha.
Yeah.
Oh
1000% Celtics would have three-peated.
well, the world may never know.
You know what? Maybe 2010 they lose. But 2009, that
They
team
fucking
with Garnett.
kill
yeah,
'em.
Yeah.
Kill him.
That team came out the gate winning. Remember that? Celtics?
23
The
and
08-09 team?
23 and like 3 or some shit like that. Like,
No, they had 3 separate win streaks that were 15 plus.
yeah,
games.
15 plus, yeah.
Yeah.
Then Garnett got
Ridiculous.
fucking injured in
They only
Utah.
won. Yeah, they only.
And I was
Utah.
at fucking Salty Dog in Springfield. So mad.
They won.
How's
They
them
won.
doing?
They won 62 games that year. As Big Baby as their
I was
starting.
Without KG in those last couple of
I
months.
was
yeah.
underage drinking in a bar when that happened.
Nice.
One of those dollar draft nights.
Well, Kobe is
man.
currently 3rd on the all-time scoring list behind Karl Malone and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar with 33,643 career points.
Kareem.
In case you missed it, old friend Stephon Marbury wants to make an NBA comeback before retiring from basketball.
What?
That's your thing now. That's your catchphrase now. You got to say that. I swear that shit doesn't get old. It doesn't get old.
He recently posted a video on Instagram about an NBA comeback, and
Get the fuck out of here, dude.
Starbury still has 1 year
He's
left.
not joking. He legit said this.
The same guy who eats like Vaseline. Yeah, he's legit.
Oh, come on, man. He's never gonna live that down, huh?
He still has 1 year left on his contract with the Beijing
People don't
Fly
forget.
Dragons
People don't forget.
The Beijing Fly Dragons?
for the 2017-18 season for the Chinese Basketball Association, which could end as early as the beginning of March, depending if they go into the playoffs.
I thought
or not.
he played for the Shanghai Sharks.
Nope, not anymore.
No, that's just Yao Ming.
Yeah, so he's going to retire from the CBA, and the 40-year-old, at that point he'll be 40 years old, would like to return to the NBA after a long hiatus.
Oh, do you know who else is playing in China? Or do you have this in there?
No, who else is playing it? Oh, well, I got it. It's coming.
I knew it.
Stevie?
No, we'll get it. We'll get there. After a long hiatus, which he last played in the
Making me
NBA for
wait.
the Knicks and the Celtics in the 2008-2009 season. Surprised we bring up that season. And he did shit for us.
It was James Young. He's playing in China.
Yes.
No, I'm just kidding.
RJ Hunter?
You gotta wait, man.
So
No, RJ's trying out for Phoenix.
Marbury says that in honor of his fans, he wants to retire
In the NBA?
in the NBA.
What's he? Where is he going back to? Phoenix or New Jersey?
I don't know. New Jersey doesn't have a team.
You know what I mean, dude.
Yeah, but still, he was only there for a couple of years, right?
Yeah, but that was when he like came. What would it be? The Knicks over the Nets?
Or he should go back to Minnesota where he, screwed over.
Okay, so actually,
Garnett.
he actually had a couple.
Honestly,
good
I don't
years.
think he can go back anywhere. I mean, if we're talking about
Phoenix.
Oh, retiring?
Phoenix. He can go back to
I
Phoenix.
thought you guys meant retiring his number. Never mind. I thought you meant just like...
Phoenix would be the place that they still love him. I think.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, man. He did.
Yeah.
He got traded. He didn't leave a free agency. He didn't screw nobody over.
Well, he played most of his years in the NBA with the Knicks.
It's just tough to say that because Steve Nash just went off in Phoenix.
Right. But
So
I mean,
people
that
completely
year,
forgot about him.
Ask any Suns fan. Ask Tunis tomorrow when we see you, dude. Ask him about.
He's gonna say fuck Marbury. That's what
Ask
he's
him
gonna
about Stephon Marbury's year. No, he was a beast in Phoenix.
say. He's gonna say it.
All right.
He's gonna say it. All right. In case you missed it, Paul Pierce has been a busy guy. He's out in China.
Busy. He's with your boy.
I still don't know why he's out in China, but
He's with your boy.
he's out in China. Well, actually, before he found my boy, he's been looking for Brandon Jennings. Do you know why he's looking for Brandon Jennings?
Big three team.
No, because Brandon Jennings said that he has recently signed a deal to play in the China League. After he said to Paul Pierce on Twitter,
This is it, huh?
you shouldn't get a
Farewell
tour after one ring.
Yeah, that was right after they beat the Wizards. And
Then he deleted
that
it.
shit. Yeah.
Then he deleted it because Paul gave him shit on Area 21. He was like, oh, the wackest player that ever talked shit about me. All right, great.
Right.
Awesome, Brandon Jennings. Who the fuck are you? And then he goes,
Scored 40
and then Brandon
points in
Jennings
game
tried
one.
to fix it by saying, you know what? No, Paul's a good dude. Paul's, he's legit. Like I just watched highlights and he's legit. Too late. Because Paul's not gonna give it up.
No.
If you go to his Instagram.
And then now he's not in the league anymore.
Yeah, go to his Instagram. Random people he runs into. Hey, you know where I can find Brandon Jennings?
I can't find him. he
I
goes.
can't find him.
I'm looking for him.
He was at like this party. He was like, "Wait, is that Brandon? Brandon, we're over here. Come on." No, that's not Brandon.
He goes,
Jennings.
that's not him.
That's not even him. He was at a restaurant.
Hibachi thing?
Yeah, the
Like,
hibachi.
on top of it up?
And the guy's like, doing his thing. He's like, "Wait, you don't know who Brandon Jennings is? Like, can you help me find
He's like,
Brandon
"Yo,
Jennings?
I'm looking for him."
I'm looking for him."
Kind of answers it for him too. He goes, No, he doesn't know, man. Yeah.
Guess he doesn't.
Can't find him.
By the
He's
way,
still- guess
you
he
know
can't find him.
your NBA career's over when you have consistent beef with Terry Rozier. Like that's the dude who you get beef with, dude.
What's his deal? I wish Terry.
They hated each
I
other.
just wish Terry just smacked him. Like,
That he was
just
about
smacked him.
to.
Like not even punch him, just smack the fuck out of him.
Smack him.
Yeah, so fucking yeah. So Brandon Jennings. So Paul
That's
Pierce.
it,
Paul
that's
Pierce is
it.
on his search for Brandon Jennings.
That's it, really.
But
That's it.
that's not it. I'm not done.
No, I'm just saying that was the Chinese guy.
That's
that you were talking about.
that's the player that went out to sign in the Chinese league.
That would be a lot better than Brandon Jennings. Even I'm disappointed.
So did Paul. Paul actually
Yeah.
thought it was someone that was legit having beef with. Would
So
be
where's
Terry.
James Young playing?
I don't know what James. Young. Oh no, he got picked up by the Bucks for training.
No,
camp.
guys, I said James Young when I talked about the China.
Not
You gotta wait for it, man. Somebody is playing in China next year. Give it a second. You're gonna find out soon.
It's already been told. It's Brandon Jennings.
No, that's not. Oh, that's another one. There's another one.
Oh, there's another one.
Joel
Oh, is
said
that what you're talking about?
I was talking about.
Oh,
Brandon
so you don't
Jennings.
know? You don't know which one I'm talking about?
Spill the beans, motherfucker. Spill the beans.
Oh, should I?
Hold on, let me.
Yeah, let me keep teasing.
All right.
Stop.
Tell you in a second.
But so he's still gonna be disappointed because it's this build up. But anyways,
Hey, you might
besides searching for Brandon Jennings and
not. You'll be
playing,
surprised.
Never know.
besides playing, searching for Brandon Jennings, Paul Pierce ran into none other than his ex-teammate. You know what? Fuck it. Ray.
Oh, I thought on the 100th episode, Joel will finally say his full name. I thought,
That's
what
good.
do you mean
I'm
he
good with
did
it.
it?
I'm
He did
good with
not
it.
do it. He
I'm good
didn't
with
say
it.
his whole name.
Ray is a legitimate nickname from Ray Allen. Everyone knows when you say Ray, that means Ray Allen.
I didn't say it. I didn't say that.
You said Ray.
That's it.
That's
it.
Ray.
But I was gonna say
Ray.
no,
You
I
just said Ray.
I almost said his last name, but I didn't. So I said, you know what?
This is breaking. This is groundbreaking.
Just Ray.
Listen to all 100
episodes.
episodes.
His real name is Walter Ray, but we'll just leave it at
I
that.
understand that. You've said that 1,000 times.
It's because it's the truth.
You just said my boy Ray.
And
That's
the
what
streak
you did.
goes 100 straight episodes. Joel has not said the words Ray Allen.
Well,
Just
this is
finish it.
the
Just
first
finish it.
time. This is the first time I've said his first name or
Finish.
his second name
Finish.
or his middle name.
You said Ray. That's like
No,
basically
I did
calling
not.
him
I
like,
did not.
yeah, that's
I
my
did
boy.
not.
That's
No,
my boy.
I did not. So yeah, he ran into that fucker. Posted an Instagram pic because they played against each other in this pickup game, which I still don't know what was for.
So it was a celebrity game.
Okay.
But I don't know why there's only 2 highlights. There's the highlight of Ray Allen dunking.
Yeah.
And then Paul makes a 3.
No, and then
I'm assuming that they didn't score a lot. They probably didn't play a lot.
No, and then number 20 popped the 3 in Paul's face.
Really?
That's another one.
Oh, I didn't see that one.
Yeah. So afterwards, they posed a picture together, and Paul's obviously taking the high road. Clearly wants Ray to come to his jersey retirement ceremony. # Let's bury the hatchet. And he tagged Rajon Rondo and Kevin Garnett.
Okay. So
in the post.
So
Yo, this might be one of the best, like
Toine and Ray.
This might be one of the best uniform retirement ceremonies that we've seen in a long time.
Not since Bird.
I mean, we already got Antoine Walker going to be in the building. 100%, he said. From the looks of this, if Ray's there, you know KG's already there.
Oh, yeah, they're going to be there.
Doc, I don't know how his schedule's going to work, but
Doc will be
maybe
there.
Doc could go there.
Doc will be fired by then, dude. He'll be there.
Either that or Doc's just going to take a night off. Yeah, I'm just going to go to Boston, guys.
Yeah,
See you
right.
guys. And
I'll see you guys later.
It's gonna be called Boston Gate.
I'll be back in a little bit.
And
gonna
watch,
be called
there's going to be a
Boston Gate.
lot more surprises. I expect David Ortiz to be there. It's going to be
Tom
a great
Brady.
moment. It's going to be a great moment.
So
Brady
yeah,
might be there.
Will be.
real quick, because you talked about it a little bit
IT
with
will be
Antoine and quotes from Ray and
Yeah, we didn't have a lot of time to get into that.
Yeah,
but
but
we'll
I
say that for next week. But yeah,
Okay,
we can get into it right now.
my
What's up?
2 cents on this,
2.
and I really don't want to fucking talk about it.
Throw a
afterwards.
nickel in, dude. Get some Thomas
But
Jefferson in there.
look, clearly from the interview, this dude doesn't get it. Doesn't get it, right? Like they're asking him a bunch of questions like the same way but worded differently, like, yo, are you cool with Paul again? And he wouldn't fucking answer it.
Yeah.
He just like kept saying like, no, from their end, they're still mad, but I got no ill will towards no one. Look, bottom line, what I take away from this is that it's not the fact that he left to Miami. It's what, Paul and KG and Rondo are all pissed off about. The dude took less money. He took less of a role to a rival team that they just beat the Celtics. It's just the way he did it. He didn't give a heads up to Pierce. This is what Pierce has always been saying. He hasn't changed his fucking story. Like, it's not the fact that he left. It's the fact that he didn't talk to me or talk to KG. He's like, it's pretty much like, fuck everybody else. He didn't talk to us two. Like, us three, we built this like new.
They
this
found
new-
out
yeah.
the same way we all did.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So he didn't give them the heads up. So, all they ever wanted was a conversation. And because they felt like they were brothers, they felt like they deserved that. But, Ray will never see it that way. To him, it's like, no, I did what I did. And he's that stubborn that he won't be like, yeah, okay, you're right, guys. Even 5 years later, whatever amount, he's pretending like he doesn't know how long it's been.
But that's the kind of
But that's the
he
type of
puts
dude.
off. But Allen puts off that image from the beginning. I mean,
Yeah.
we talked about it with Antoine, and we said it before in the past.
But that's why I said that
he was
Pierce-
never in that crew, in that group. He was never in one of those
Yeah, but
guys that
Pierce-
was
Pierce-
getting dinner with
maybe
them.
off the court. You're right, but maybe off the court. But on the court, like they
well, yeah,
won
'cause he's one of the
games.
best players in the court, obviously.
Yeah. So
Pierce and KG didn't make that any better, by the way, either.
well, but at least
Like going out and just talking shit. Like, that's not going to fix the situation.
But it's not really talking shit. It's more like, look,
They
this
were
is what.
talking mad shit.
How are they talking mad shit? What did they say that's shit? That's like considered shit. That did they call him an asshole?
If you're
did they say
bringing up-
that like he's a piece of garbage? What did they say to him?
If you're bringing up Ray Allen, like that's not going to help the situation on national television. Saying
People were asking, they were like,
we
"Yo."
were pissed that Ray left." Like obviously that's not going to sit well with Ray.
They asked Twitter, "Yo, send us questions. What other question anybody's going to send that anyone else wants to know about?"
I'm just saying.
They answered the question.
I'm just saying.
They answered it honestly.
And let's
If you're
face
trying to get on,
well,
if
let's
you're
face
trying
it,
to get on
Sean.
Ray
Let's
for,
face
like,
it, Sean.
being a douchebag,
They,
which I get it.
They put themselves out there to ask questions, and if they didn't address it, you would have been like, "Oh, they."
That's what I mean. Like if you know
They went
But that's
the other
not
route.
talking shit.
They
They
were
just
scared.
like they're speaking what they felt. You know what I mean? Like at least for Pierce,
All right.
and I said it when after that episode, after the Area 21, Pierce is going to me. It feels like Pierce is the only one that really wants to bury the hatchet. But now more so because of this ceremony, he wants him there. That was one of his favorite teammates. He considered him, a friend or a brother, whatever the case may have been. And whether the rest of them, KG, Rondo, even Perk, or Ray, if they don't ever want to like mend fences, Pierce is like, I'm good with that as long as he comes to my thing because I want him there. I took the high road and I said, this dude's never gonna come up to me and be like, yo, let's squash this. He's the one that's like, fuck it, I'm gonna be the bigger man, but it is what it is.
I think it's just tough to say because you know what? Okay, Sean, I get what Sean's saying though. Like, it's not that they were talking trash, but let's face it, the whole thing was it was tasteless, right?
Like all of them feel like
all of them just
felt like
airing them out.
wrong.
But right. But like at the same time, it's like all of them airing them out. They're all taking their turn to talk about it. Well, besides Rondo didn't really get too deep into it because
Rondo didn't say shit. And he's probably the dude that had the most shit to say, but he didn't say anything because like what I'm trying to say is like
it's a little tasteless, but at the same time, you can't expect them to not address it,
right?
And it kind of just spilled from there.
Well, I think if you're gonna give Ray Ray ditched them, right? But the fact that who's gonna mend the fence afterwards, right? Because this is a broken relationship. Like if Pierce and KG really wanted to fix this and that's what they wanted and Ray was being just a dick, they would have never opened it up to questions which they know they're going to get asked about their relationship with Ray Allen, especially when it's the whole 08 team and he's the only dude not there.
Well, even KG said it was like, yo, like I feel like this will get fixed. Maybe not right now, but eventually it will.
Yeah, they both said that. Pierce said that too.
Pierce said it too, and Pierce, it's like right now he wants it out of the way because he's like, this is happening. The ceremony's happening.
Well, hold on.
I won't get my number retired twice.
But let me throw this out there, and I want to make this quick because I don't want to.
Yeah, that's fine.
Keep going on with this, but why do you?
Joel wants to go on with this.
No, I don't.
He's going to say Ray Allen by the end of the night.
I put in my shit.
I know you put in your
nickels.
Shit. I know you put in your shit because right before you said that, you like came on like somebody was just dropped like the illest fucking rap verse in the world. You were like, look, and they just went into it to us, dude.
Oh, but the Ray thing, yeah. He was
like,
listen, I got a lot to say on this.
Because for the most part, like
check it, and he's.
I'm just saying for the most part, I've kept it minimal because it's like I feel like I thought this was done. To be honest,
this is the most emotional I've ever seen you, man.
All right, so the reason why I think
scalding take
a lot of this is going on with Ray Allen speaking, like why else would he be speaking out right now? Because I think the biggest reason is because his feelings are hurt. Why are his feelings hurt? Why?
Number 20?
Yes. The signing of Gordon Hayward wearing number 20 just makes it official. So then, puts the nail in the coffin. His number will never be retired.
All right, so then let me ask you this. Let me ask both of y'all this. Is that messed up? Is that messed up? Is that a slap in his face? Is that talking
That's
shit?
That's what this is all about. His feelings are hurt, not because of what's going on with them, but if you look at the interview, he's attacking the organization. He's not attacking Paul Pierce, those guys. He's attacking the Celtics because in his mind, he's like, wow, after everything I did, I still brought you guys a championship. You're not going to retire my number.
That means the Celtics aren't over it either.
You're not going to retire my number.
So as much as people want to say bad things about Pierce, Garnett, whoever, the Celtics aren't over it either.
Right.
Apparently.
So if this is a Ray Allen versus the organization and not versus KG and Paul Pierce.
That's what this is.
And you think that there's some type of bond there. If you ask Paul Pierce and KG if Ray Allen's number should be retired, would they say yes?
Yeah.
Probably, yeah.
Yes. Maybe not all of them.
What? I just said KG and Pierce.
They would say yes.
They would say yes. I don't care. I don't know about anybody else.
Yeah, that's true. They would say yes.
I mean, look
We'll
at.
We'll have to ask them that next time we have Paul Pierce on the episode. Episode 101.
I mean, look at what the organization did with just an example, right?
No, I
Rondo, right? They gave his number to Demetrius Jackson,
right
off the bat. At least the number 20 goes to an all-star who they look at as the one's going to be here for a long time.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. I mean, but I think also too was the number 31 was Max's number 1 after Max was there? Probably, right?
Say that again. 31.
31.
Yeah, before it was retired.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like it was.
Yeah, it probably was. So I don't think Ray.
Didn't Xavier McDaniel wear that?
Yeah.
He did, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, they're
not to date myself, but
Max didn't leave on the best terms either. You know what I mean? Like, so
no, he didn't. Yeah.
So like, I think there's something to it. Like, yeah,
because
So you're saying there's still a chance to retire
your
his
number will be retired eventually. But you know what? You left us. So we're gonna put you in the same vein as everyone else.
You're right. But Sway brings up a good point. Why every time?
But what if Gordon Hayward wins a couple championships though? That's the thing.
But why?
Yeah,
but why?
He has to get retired.
But why every time like his name is brought up in the media? Like, he has to respond. Oh, I got it. This is my chance. So people don't forget about me type of thing. He's got an ego.
Well, I think
he's
but I think a lot of that, I think all this extra speaking out and responding to what's going on and addressing the issue has a lot to do with the fact that they signed Gordon Hayward. He's wearing that jersey.
And he said, hey, can I?
And Sean said it best. If Hayward wins one championship, they're gonna retire his number.
No, they're
Hayward.
not.
Yes, he is.
Man, I just feel like
Hayward is like the quote unquote Paul Pierce of the scenario.
Yeah,
of the Celtics going into the finals and winning it eventually within the next 5 years.
If they win a championship this year, Hayward's not getting retired. I think you have to win and be there for a little bit.
Well, I'm assuming he sticks around 5 years like Allen did. Let's face it, they both.
Sure.
Put it this way, just from his contract.
Well, then what do you
just
retire?
From his contract,
you retire Horford's number, dude.
Just from his contract, 5 years, same level, 5 years. Horford has never been a number 1 or number 2 on this team.
Sure.
So obviously, in this scenario with Hayward and Irving, he'll be the 1-2 with Irving.
But if you think about it too, like they're opening. If you're gonna retire Pierce, Garnett, and not Allen, right? Then all of a sudden you're gonna take. I mean, if you have the same. Garnett coming in is basically like Hayward and Irving coming in and winning a championship with them.
How many players have worn number 5 since Garnett left?
Nobody.
Yeah, that would be groundbreaking.
So you think like 30 years down the road, Ray gets like
30 years,
like Jesus Shuttlesworth retired, like his.
I don't think so. I mean, Max
was almost 20 years after he left the Celtics.
That was a long time.
Max was what, 04?
So 20 years down the road.
If he doesn't get his number retired in 20 years, then it's never gonna happen.
I remember Paul Pierce even made a joke. Was like, man, I thought my number was gonna be retired before yours. He told Cedric Maxwell.
Yeah.
Almost 20 years after he finished playing with the Celtics.
Same time though, I think the only reason why Max got his number retired, unfortunately, is because they hadn't retired a number in a long ass time. They were like, Bird got his number retired, then McHale, then Parrish, then Reggie Lewis. Right, but then it was 4 or 5 years because Reggie Lewis got his number retired immediately, and then DJ I think was in there.
It was like
DJ was in there at some point.
No, Maxwell got his number retired
I know, but DJ was in the late 90s.
Well, I mean, he started working for the organization again, and then of course that conversation gets brought up all the time. When is his number going to get retired? He was a Finals MVP.
But I think they realized if we don't retire Max's number now, I mean, Max's number was the last number to be retired, right?
Yeah.
So how long ago was that? 13 years?
2003,
so
2004,
they were like, well, we might as well try to fill this in. Max, you were the Finals MVP, rookie, whatever. Yeah. We'll put you up there. But if they didn't do that, man, you'd be looking at the 1986.
I mean, he left and he was bashing them too because he was mad that they traded him because he was injured.
Yeah. Well, wait. Well, let's hold on a second though. Max came back, got his broadcasting job. I mean, he was sort of working with the Celtics, so it's kind of easier for him to get his number retired. With compared to somebody who has nothing to do with the team anymore. He was a Finals MVP.
What if Bill Walton?
Paul Pierce is a Finals MVP.
Yeah, what if Bill Walton?
Obviously, Paul put more time here, but I feel like Maxwell, that Finals MVP is what made the difference.
What if Bill Walton played a few more years? Right? He pretty much took Maxwell's spot. That's where Maxwell got traded out. And then maybe number 5 gets retired before fucking Garnett even gets here.
Yeah, but he was all done by the time he came to Boston.
No, I'm just saying, but he did win fucking 6th Man of the Year, averaging 8 and 8.
So if you put numbers like Kelly Olynyk, you can.
I don't know. I just feel like
Olynyk couldn't ever get 8 rebounds, dude. Come on.
Yeah. Not 8. Okay, but what was he? 11 and 6? No, 11 and 4, 5.
No, I don't know. Just bottom line, I just feel like if it weren't for Paul's retirement ceremony or his jersey getting retired, this would go on for a little bit longer. So who knows between now and then?
Going on for a while.
You can actually catch his exclusive interview, the video on CauseWayStreetBlog.com.
Check it out.
See what you think. In case you missed it, did you guys hear Deion Sanders' thoughts on Kyrie Irving?
Nope.
Kyrie Irving trade?
Nope.
All right.
No.
Deion Sanders.
Deion Sanders. Yes. The
Prime
former
time?
football player. Prime time. Exactly. Let me play you a clip. How this dude was really passionate about Kyrie Irving leaving Cleveland.
I want to know what your thoughts were.
I'm
I want
upset.
to share your thoughts about that.
I'm upset.
What are you
because,
upset about?
Why leave? So you misconstrue what the King brings to the game. The King is so good that you've been to the finals back to back to back, and you start thinking that this is normalcy. Have you lost your mind? This ain't normal. The only thing normal about this is the King, all right? I have never seen a dog leave to go elsewhere. Stockton didn't leave Karl Malone. Magic didn't leave Kareem. And the reason he has to understand that he's Robin. You're not Batman. Pippen understood that in its totality, that he was Robin. You're going to leave, and then you got to see LeBron.
Well, let me explain.
In the same conference.
Let me explain.
And then I want to say something
Let me explain.
about that.
First of all, it's about him not wanting to be stuck there once LeBron leaves after next season. That's number one.
A different perspective from, someone that obviously is a fan of basketball, but has been the guy.
See, I think Stephen A. Smith brings a valid point. I think that had something to do with it, but I also think that
Deion makes a good point.
Well, he was also thinking to himself, what if LeBron does stay? Do I really want to be next to this guy for the next 4 years? What if he signs a big extension? And then on the other side of that coin,
would have his
if
chance,
he leaves, he's like, I don't want to be. So it's like a lose-lose. He's like, I need to get out of here.
Now, people give Scottie Pippen a lot of credit because he stuck around with Michael Jordan, right?
Yeah.
But if Michael Jordan didn't leave for that 1 year and he had to play with the Bulls without Michael Jordan,
season and a half.
Season and a half. You think he would? Oh, basically 2 years because they didn't make a deep run that second year when he came back. Do you think Pippen would have just been like, yeah, I got this shit on my own. I want to go somewhere on my own. No, he learned the hard way because Jordan left and then was like, damn, we won 45 games. That's like it, dude.
Pointing at his shoes, saying like, bro, cut the shit. Come back.
Then he realized, like, yeah, Jordan, I need Jordan. Like, Kyrie can't go through this. So whatever. If he stayed with LeBron and LeBron did stay, yes, I think there would be titles. They would rack up titles together. And Kyrie would be looked at the same vein Scottie Pippen is. But the thing is, LeBron is fucking leaving because he's a fucking psychopath and he's a fucking disloyal asshole. He just won't stay in Cleveland. He's not staying in Cleveland, dude. There's no fucking way. Everyone who's from Cleveland is like, LeBron's back. It's good. It's like, dude, he's definitely leaving. Like, he doesn't give a fuck about the city of Cleveland. So Jordan at least came back. He probably could have came back for any other team, but came back to the Bulls. And Pippen is only viewed as a top, 50 player of all time. Even if you look at that list, he's only on there because he played with Jordan.
I don't know. I think he had some quality years in Portland as a,
as a top 50 player of all time? No, he was basically like.
So he wasn't a 50 player in Portland. You just for his Chicago years.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
What, are you gonna bring up the Rockets years after this too?
Well, he only played 1 year in the Rockets, but
no, Scottie Pippen on the Blazers.
Talk about an old school super team. Charles Barkley, Scottie Pippen,
Clyde Drexler,
and Hakeem Olajuwon. Man,
like everyone's like, this is not gonna be a good year. This is like. I'm injured.
Their bench was
I don't feel good.
Was Matt Maloney.
That's almost like Pierce.
Eddie Johnson. Remember Eddie Johnson?
It's almost like Pierce, Garnett, Shaq, and I don't know, one other person just coming back together being like, we still got it, man.
Like Rashid.
She's there. So basically the fucking blend together of the 2010 Celtics and the 2012 Celtics. Just blend them all together.
Well, 2011
the 2012 Celtics were a lot younger. Come on. Greg Steesman.
Yeah, but Shaq was on that team, though.
He brought that,
that
average down.
When they traded for Shaq and they were like, we're going to have a deep postseason run with this dude, I was like, this dude is not fucking playing. Jermaine O'Neal's on that squad too, dude.
Just in case you missed it, it's brought to you by
CLNS.
For our 100th episode.
When you want the best.
Make sure you download the CLNS mobile app for the best online sports coverage. You can also listen to the Causeway Street Podcast on there. That's the CLNS mobile app.
100 episode, fellas.
Yeah, it's been a crazy run and ride here.
Yeah, it's craziness, man. You know what makes it crazy? All the listeners, man. all the listeners throughout these 100 episodes, especially recently.
Especially over the last year. It's been pretty good.
The last year has been unbelievable.
It's been a revolution.
So I think, it'd only be right for our 100th episode just to say thank you to everyone that's been tuning in, man.
Yes.
It means a lot.
Much appreciated.
It's crazy how many listeners it's gone up to in comparison to when we first started.
And you know what? It wouldn't be at the number it was at unless for you, listener. You make the difference.
Yeah. We're talking to you.
Right
listener.
now. Just me and you sitting down. Just imagine we're in the room together.
Nah, just make it awkward. All right. Make sure you hit up our homepage, CausewayStreetBlog.com. Check out my, I don't know, it's not a letter really, but it's just a piece about Isaiah Thomas. Now that the trade is official, he's been introduced by the Cavaliers. It's time to move on from the Isaiah Thomas era, even though it only lasted 2.5 years. So you can check that out. Oh, he's also going to be on Law & Order, guys.
I love Law & Order. SVU is one of my favorite shows.
They filmed that in Cleveland?
I don't know where the hell they filmed it. Actually, I heard they filmed it in Charlestown. No, I'm kidding. I don't know where the fuck they filmed it at.
Yo, Ben Affleck, dude.
No, that episode should be out in like late October.
In the fucking town, dude.
No, Casey's going to be on that one.
Casey's there, dude. All right.
Yeah.
Casey.
Oh, make sure to...
What about Ronnie, dude?
Make sure to read another article on Marcus Smart and his summer, I don't know, routine, if you want to call it. He's hired a personal chef, and he talks about all the changes and talks about his former mentors in Isaiah, Jay Crowder, and Avery Bradley.
Marcus Smart's going to be the...
CausewayStreetBlog.com.
Be the dude this year. He's going to be the dude.
And that is it for...
In case you missed it.
For our 100th episode. We don't say our names enough, I don't think. I'm Joel Pavone.
I'm Sean Dutra.
You guys know who I am. Come on, man. Josue Pavone.
The guy who pisses off Fred Hoiberg. I can't wait for that to come around this season.
Oh, it's on part 2.
So, yeah, guys, 100th episode. Thanks again to Antoine Walker. Make sure y'all hit him up on Twitter.
Yeah, check out that podcast too. But keep listening to us. And you know what? Get onto iTunes and subscribe to the Causeway Street Podcast. If you're listening to this on YouTube, if you're listening to this on wherever the hell else you're listening to, just go to iTunes, subscribe, like, rate. Thank you. We love you. And we can't do this without you guys. I'm going to get all emotional over here, man.
Follow Antoine at WalkerAntoine8 on Twitter. Follow us on all social media accounts, Causeway Street, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook. Everywhere. Shout out to Nick, too. Nick Gelso. We got to get him on again.
All right, we up out of here. 101 coming up.
101.
All right, guys. Here's to 100 more.
Ching. Bye.